Welcome back, everyone, to the V4 Future Sports Festival. As yet to hear Tom doing his best form of karaoke, singing to the song. Can you do a little bit more for us, Tom?
Yeah, I'm starting
I was actually curious how long you would continue to do that for. This is Mouse Sports up against Tricked Esports. We do have currently a 1-0 lead for Mouse Sports. It's our final game of the day.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we'll be back with 4 more best of 3s underway, where Tom and I will be bringing you all the action as well. It's going to be great. We're going to get to see NIP tomorrow. We get to see Advokacik tomorrow as well.
What was that?
I'm just guessing because we need to get the proper pronunciation from the Polish crew here. Advokacik is what I'm going with.
Yeah, that one. I can definitely say that.
And then, yeah, we should have some great games. We should know by the end of the day tomorrow who will be going through into the playoffs, and more importantly, who's going to be straight through into the semifinals, where these two teams are currently battling out for that first position. And Nuke, our second map here in this series, Tom. We already saw Tricked played up against Virtus Pro earlier on, and they did win that match as well. It was a fairly nice match to watch, actually 16-8 in the end of things. Not fairly nice because it was fast, but fairly nice because of what we got to see in terms of individual skill out of Tricked.
Yeah, well, we got to see a little bit of a turnaround in that second half of the map we just witnessed, but in the one that we saw sort of earlier in the day, they look like a much better team overall. Like, it didn't seem like Virtus Pro really got into things, and I think that they should be able to give Mouse Sports a run for their money. The thing is, if Mouse Sports get off to such a strong start...
Does he have tape all over that can?
Yeah. Well, I noticed that every single label has been removed off all of the drinks.
That's understandable.
But, yeah.
I can't remove a label off a can.
Yeah, you can get some paint. I suppose that would do the trick. But, yeah, the tape's probably a little bit easier.
I kind of want to guess what that is.
Carrigan just looks wrecked. He's giving someone evil eyes, that's for sure.
Well, obviously trying to fix, I think, a tech issue here for Carrigan and his PC. A lot of money on the line, too. $150,000 for first place, $70,000 for second.
That's big boy money.
It is. It's like half your daily rate.
Why is that like your go-to? I wish it was. I wish.
Yeah.
I don't even have to work, what, like 1 day a year? I could just
if you get paid that much to work 1 day a year, you think you would work more days?
Yeah, probably. But I'm saying I could work 1 day a year, and then I wouldn't have to do anything else.
You could be the next ninja.
Yeah. But then I'd have to go over to that streaming platform.
Minecraft? Oh. It's like...
Yeah. No. The one that he's been paid a ludicrous amount of money for.
I'm pretty sure if you got paid millions of dollars to go stream on another platform, you would say, where do I sign?
I don't stream on any platform, so yeah, of course I would. Actually, that's a lie. I did stream a bit of the major on Twitch, and that was quite fun.
Did he? Okay.
What?
Nothing. Just wanted to ask if your channel's still there. Did it get shut down?
Oh no, I asked.
Oh, okay.
I know the people at StarLadder, so I sent them a nice message, and they allowed me to do it. I had to send them some of my stats and stuff, which was ridiculously low because it was basically just me streaming to myself. But I had fun at least.
I watched. I was
there.
You didn't.
Of course I didn't. No, you didn't. But, yeah, for anybody wondering, there are a few technical issues at the moment, so we are not just waffling for the sake of it. We do like the sounds of our own voices, but...
I don't like mine right now, because I can tell I'm a little ill at the moment. And, I was giving you an opportunity to actually, push your own channel. Maybe get you some viewers, but...
Nah, I don't feel the need to sell out. Like, if people want to watch my Twitch or follow my Twitter, that's up to them. Like, I'm not gonna. Well, I did do a giveaway like on my birthday, but that's not the point. That's a completely different thing, and I definitely didn't do that for followers. But hey, at least I'm honest.
I can give you that. The Mouse Sports, we saw some glimpse of life in them. So the Mouse Sports that we kind of expected to show up through this tournament, they are hands down the favorites across. They're the only, I think you said, complete team, which I 100% agree with.
Yeah.
Considered MIBR do have KNG coming in, and NIP playing with Golden during the major, and now Plopsky back again, coming off the back of Russia.
It's like even this Tricked side had a roster change recently, so
yeah.
I would say that they're up there with the teams that have been around a little bit longer, but even still, that's not very long at all, and they're one of the sort of up-and-coming teams rather than a team that's established within the scene. So, Mouse Sports are someone we expect to be firmly within the top 10, maybe higher, especially based off the roster that they currently have. Like, there's not a member of this team who hasn't been like within the top, like, I don't know, 50 players within the world, or like and known for being like a mastermind strategist, or just has ridiculous aim. Like that's pretty much what we expect from everyone on this team. So if they were to fall flat in this tournament, the questions would be asked, especially after the major. Like, obviously, they were eventually eliminated by arguably the best team in the world, but things still didn't go quite the way they were hoping for. Like they would have had the minimum aim of getting to the legend stage. Tricked, on the other hand, like, they've been sort of managing to get themselves into some like smaller tournaments recently. Like, they did all right at DreamHack. They surprised everybody as summer because they were sort of one of the last invites. Like, it was a couple of teams weren't able to make it, so they got invited and they managed to, I believe, get into the semi-finals, which, yeah, was definitely a surprise. And yeah, very enjoyable to watch them play. And yeah, they did very well in the end. So
I'd say they've been doing fairly well in this tournament as well, considering all things. I mean, they had a massive streak on T side of Dust 2. They've been slowly getting better as the matches do go. No tape on those cans, unfortunately, so don't know what's going to be done with that one. But no, they've looked good. Like, they've had moments. Like, they've had some very good standout plays. A core on the AWP, we saw the 1vx moments in the last map on Dust 2. He's almost able to pull off quite a few of those. Shush as well has been hitting so many great shots and been like a relatively good entry frag for the team. And Bubs, I want to see what he can do here on Nuke, locking down that vent position or just being that a nuisance on the T side like we saw for Virtus Pro. We saw Trick consistently try to open up that avenue, open up like a whole new lane for them to attack with by consistently taking down that squeaky door. Not necessarily using it every round, but keeping the option open. And
yeah,
that's something Mousesports is going to have to pay attention to and really give respect to.
I do have to say, I think like finding the holes in Mousesports' defense is going to be a lot more difficult than it was finding it in the defense of Virtus Pro. Like, I still don't know what to expect from VP. Like, I think they're definitely
Can we just enjoy this? I just wanted to watch them just tape it up. Aw. The thing is, he did. They've done such a good job. I don't even know what it is.
Not enough tape. He needs a little bit more. Oh, can we go back to tape cam?
Stop, because it actually might happen. But of course, it's not just us. What, 6 of us here actually bringing you all the action. It's going down at V4. We do have Anders and Mouz that's going to be joining us for the playoff stage starting on Saturday and Sunday.
And the Hungarian broadcast.
Yeah, of course, the Hungarian broadcast as well. I apologize. And then, of course, we're moving into the stadium on Saturday, which is currently, well, we can actually see it if we go back into the talent room. And it's starting to look pretty damn nice. Of course, if you're in the area, make sure to come by.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's free entry as well, like into the arena. So
you can get Thomas to sign your chest for you if you want.
Well, you could. I don't know why you would, but yeah. You can get a piggyback from Jason, which will make you at least
for me?
8 foot tall.
Oh,
piggyback.
Yeah. It's true.
You'll be able to reach the ceiling, reach for the stars.
Just depends on if you use deodorant or not. If you don't use deodorant, then no, that's not happening.
Do you use deodorant?
You've been sitting next to me. You tell me.
I don't know. I think I'm getting a bit of a cold as well.
You're getting a cold as well?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully not too long because we have a lot of time left to go together. Still have another event after this when we do finish this one off, which I'm actually really looking forward to, especially when you get to the main stage. Like, there's a lot of possibilities. For me, Mousesports and MIBR is something I'm really looking to see just for the potential, like, quad op setups between these two teams. But I think we should be ready momentarily. I think Kerrigan was just getting his headset changed out so we can get, I think, maybe a mic problem fixed. I'm assuming he didn't have it muted like we saw earlier on today.
That's the thing, though. From what we've seen so far, I still expect it to be like Mousesports, Tricked, MIBR, and probably NIP. We'll see how they do tomorrow. I imagine they'll be the ones getting through. I think VP are the only ones who could maybe throw a spanner in the works if they get a second attempt. But yeah, I think that in reality, there shouldn't be any like major surprises.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, just have been informed. We're going to head back to a short break.
We've been told that they don't want us to talk anymore.
Yeah, I know that term short break has had some different contexts in different events, but hopefully it will be short. We do fix a couple of issues.
Hopefully you won't be tricked.
Welcome back, everyone. I am being told that all the problems have been solved, all the cans have been wrapped in duct tape, and we're ready to get things underway here on Nuke. He has missed out on some fantastic singing yet again from Tom. He's not going to do another time. He has a very great falsetto voice when he needs it.
Oh, yeah.
But we're going to be dropping into Nuke in just a few seconds. Tricked up against Mouse Sports, currently a 1-0 lead for Mouse Sports. Looks like everything is good to go. Knocking on wood. I think this is wood. Looks like wood. Feels like wood. And we're about to kick off things here.
Oh no, it might be covered in tape.
Should cover all the things in tape.
That's the solution to everything. All right, well, it looks like we're into the pistol round. It is going to be a CZ actually bought up for Frozen. It seems to be his weapon of choice, and a decent amount of utility invested into the T side, and already a lot of it being expended to gain a little bit of control. Smokes are going to land, and they're going to look to try and take some pressure away. Already a kill coming in for Shush, and we Wox it going down as they wait, hoping that they'll rotate away from the ramp, although there's still two players here. The spamming shots go away. Rop's still hidden in the backlines. I don't think they know he's here. He's got to hit the timing right. He gets 1 seconds there as well for Rops, giving them the man advantage, an important couple of kills, and now they've got to try and do something here. Roge, well placed, will at least be able to manage one. He needs to do more than that. Shush still going strong with the P250, but Carrigan trades things back into a 2v2 once more. The CZ now picked up onto Shush with the P250 alongside it. Bullet spamming away, and Shush gets the kill, and it's left all onto Carrigan. Trying to bait them out into the peak. He does a lot of damage, finds the kill, but the trade should be there, however. Bubsky just going to go running away. The smoke has to be thrown onto the bomb, and I don't think there's even enough time for Carrigan to actually do anything here. He'll get the final kill and retreat back out of the round.
Unfortunate for Mouse Sports. They did get a lot of kills in that round, however. Shush on the outside play. Picked up the initial kill in the walks. Well done by him, especially with the Glock from that position. Whew. Yeah, it was a great shot. There you can see right there. Actually, it was a P250 he took him out with. I didn't notice that. And Robs with a great timing to pick up the 2. Just unfortunate they weren't able to stop the bomb from being planted there. And then we're going to see Trick with an early 1-0 lead. Again, we saw Trick take down Virtus Pro 16-8 earlier on today on Nuke. Obviously, a little bit of different teams between Virtus Pro and Mouse Sports, but I'm waiting to see Bubsky and see what he can do with these vents, because we've already mentioned before and alluded to before, they like to take this door out consistently to give them another path to attack with and keep teams on their toes.
Rops already going to be closed out. A good start for Shush, and I think that's integral in this game. Woxic will be able to turn the tide and bring one back, and you have to bear in mind they did win, I think it was both pistols actually, in the last map, but The Force Buy victory did manage to come in one of the times from Mouse Sports. Now, they have got a kid in this situation. Carrigan able to do so much damage in the last round that he even has a FAMAS alongside it. And with only 2 players remaining, they're looking to try and hold on to the cross, but Carrigan finds another. And now it's left all onto Acor to try and hold on. He finds 2, but it isn't quite enough. And the diffuser, well, it won't even need the kit. A great round once again from Mouse Sports, and as said, a second time now they've won a Force Buy in the second round.
Unfortunate for Tricked, but they did get the bomb down at least. 2 rounds back to back. I don't know how much they're going to invest into this. I guess we're going to see it. Mac 10 picked up for Hunden. Mac 10 picked up for Roche. I would imagine we're going to see an inner hit. An upside hit, just through the fact that they have these close quarter proximity weapons. Maybe some sort of ramp take potentially going to be going down here. They have to definitely play fast and loose.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they attempted this versus VP and got absolutely owned. Like, just didn't work. So we'll see if anything works a little bit better. Maybe going to try and go for the vent drop, and that's pretty much what it seems like what Bubsky's attempting, but he's actually waiting, and Frozen's just been owned straight off the bat. Carrigan will only manage to get one. There's an AK now to be found, but Chris J quick to respond. Keep this round even, at least for now. None of the weaponry actually being retrieved just yet. Still, the rifles all standing on the opposing side. Flashbang comes in, Woxic runs through, but can't really do anything. He's done some damage to Bubsky at least. Push back in from Rops in a similar scenario. Doesn't actually connect the shots. Both players currently around this angle, and Bubsky's going to go down. It's left all onto Acor. Bomb not yet planted, so he has to try and cross towards the site, and Rops will spot him out and win them the round. An important one at that, as now we're going to have to see an eco for Tricked.
So a relatively costly round for them too, able to get those 3 kills. No bomb plant into the 3rd round, unfortunate. So the buy-up not going to be happening. I feel like Frozen's got to be a little tilted from that.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised, but to be fair, like, he seems like a very calm player. Like, obviously very young at the moment, so I don't think he has that sort of bitterness that the majority of us older people have.
Us? Older people? You're 25.
Older than him.
Okay. I'll give you that.
I'm 8 years older than him.
God, I'm 6 years older than you. Oh.
All right, Grandpa.
No, I'm not to. I like Woxic's position, though. I mean, it's up against the pistols and the Glock. It's not really a big deal, but I did like the position to use. Mouse Sports 3-1 here. Still with that 1 map lead from before. I mean, obviously they can't lose the map lead. It's not like the results will change.
Unless you got a time machine.
Yep. Just leave it at that.
He said, I'm going to throw eco smokes. That's the thing with Mouse Sports, we can actually genuinely get a little bit of inside info from Tricked. We need someone like Risk to be here, or Pimp. I suppose Pimp would be the perfect one, considering he's actually in the building at the moment.
Yeah, but nobody wants Pimp here, Castavelis.
And I'm not sure he also wants to translate what Hunden is saying. It might be more insults.
Or he'll just turn it into an insult.
Here we go, though. Finally, a buy-in for Tricked after what was the pistol win and then the fallout of further rounds for Mouse Sports. They've got a glass cannon AWP for Acor. You know what he can do with this gun? He was clinical in the previous map. Just unable to win any of those big moments. Like, bringing them very, very close, but not taking the victories. The smoke going towards main. Actually gives them quite a bit of an angle around the outside. Chris is going to be ready and waiting up above. And if they do opt to try and get into heaven, they might be walking right into him, and that's exactly what they do. He finds the opener. The problem now is, can he actually get away with this? And no, he can't. Quickly traded out, but he has wasted a lot of time. 35 seconds on the clock. Woxic will go down, but Rops is right behind him to pick off another one. And now the question is asked, like, what did Tricked actually do here? They've got so little time and a lot left to do.
Imagine towards upper is the direction you're going to have to go. Hunden with the bomb. Frozen's going to be here waiting to receive. The man rotating back towards ramp. 13 seconds left to go. You're going to have to just run into this with a nade being thrown in preemptively. Catches him out. Does some good damage through. Kerrigan's there for the refrag. Bomb now drop. 5 seconds left to go. And Bubs in a 1-on-2. Just going to drag out the time. In a 1-on-1. No time to plant. No reason to peek. Will he die after the time? And I can tell you, no, he will not. So he will be able to maintain his weapon. That's still not the best of starts. I mean, it's kind of unfortunate. I feel like this has just kind of been the story of Tricked, where they win the pistol, but they can't win the follow-up round. It's happened so many times in this series, I feel like.
But it's a lot worse on Nuke as well, because on Dust 2, maybe you can get something working with the pistols, or you can get yourself back into the game a little bit more easy, but once the economy is built on a map like Nuke, it's very difficult to actually break this down. Now, this almost looks a bit like a hero buy, but of course it was Bubsky saving his weapon from the previous round. So it does mean in the next round, the rest of his team will be able to purchase comfortably. And to be honest, if they get a bomb plant here, that will actually give him enough to get a proper buy. They do have max loss bonus at the moment, so there will be the 3,400 plus, obviously, the 800 from the bomb. So that will be at least an AK and armor, plus any amount of money he can get from kills. A-Core going to be sold as the fake. And then they send in the cavalry to try and at least do some damage. Bubsky is going to be able to get one. The second may even go his way, but eventually Chris is there to close things down. 5-1, only one player dropped versus what was an extra rifle, and Bubsky actually with that one kill gives himself exactly enough to get an SG with armor.
I want to see them play towards the Ven a little bit more. We talked so heavily about him in the Virtus Pro match and how well he plays that position on the T or CT side, and of course we've been talking about alluding to it in this mouse sports matchup, and yet he's not really been able to go that route just yet. We are still in early days, 6 rounds played total. Woxic going to be challenging outside with the AWP. I think this is the most outside presence we've seen all day on Nuke, actually, if you think back to the Virtus Pro vs. Trick game.
Yeah, most teams nowadays are a little bit more passive, but I think Woxic is like a dying breed. He is like the old style AWPer. He wants to get up in your face. He wants to take portions of the map away from you. And a lot of the time you see more situational AWPing or passive AWPing with supportive flashbangs. But this man really can just do it all on his own. Like that is the scary prospect. That is why that they got rid of a player such as Oscar, who's a very prominent AWPer, to bring this man in. This round at least, though, A-Core's going to have his number, and Chris has to try and hold on. He's got his trusty SG, which is one of the real high-flying players with that gun. Dunk will come in for Frozen, giving them an opportunity. He's still standing, at least for now. Manages to get back towards the hut, but they're going to drop into the vent. Take themselves a reposition. Molotov goes down to deny them any real presence, and it's a fairly long rotation without the use of the vent. It's going to take them a moment to get back to B.
Looks like they will split up, though. Drops from ramp. Frozen towards vents. I like how Tricked are holding this. You're not going to expect 2 players to be in the exact same location, but they're going to work their way in. 19 seconds and counting. Trying to clear multiple different angles here. No utility to use, though, for mouse sports, so it's going to be very tough to pull this off unless they do just something like that. The core 1v2, 8 seconds left to go. The defuse is starting to come through. He misses the first shot. He's trying to get around the corner in time. Rob's just trying to body block here. When the defuse coming through, he actually doesn't go for the shot. Instead, looking to get away to save the AWP. They get the bomb plant, but they lose the round nonetheless. 6-1 in favor of mouse sports.
I think Frozen knew that was a little bit close, but even at the same time, I'm not sure the bomb was really planted in a position for A-Core to have the right angle. Like, I think he needed to either stick around the doors or just basically jump out the window, which wasn't a risk he was willing to take. So 6-1, a close round, but nonetheless, it's mouse sports taking themselves another round on the board. And I always like to see the fact that Woxic never really seems to shy away from a position. It can be seen as a detriment occasionally, but he never seems to lose confidence, which is something that most players don't seem to have.
Well, I asked about the vent play, by the way, earlier on. We're going to start to see it. 3 players.
Friends.
Yeah. Wonder what those are like.
Don't know. Yeah, bomb going to be planted. I think they're somewhat unaware the rotation is going to be coming in, but there's so many positions that are yet to be cleared. Shush. Look going to try and get nice and close to the ramp. Bubsky's still in his trusty vents, doesn't want to leave them. Acor even causing them some trouble outside. And it is just going to be a quick trade, but the bomb's already ticked half the time. They've got so much left to do. You wonder if the CT side are even going to bother with this, and by the looks of it, they're not. Frozen still trying to make a bit of an effort, and actually, Bubsky doing a great job of closing them down. 3 players caught on the outside. So much damage done to the economy of mousesports that really should never have been caught. They never really even went for this push. Rop's trying to return the favor, but can't get himself a kill, and actually him not saving that weapon might be the real kicker here. You know that Frozen can drop a gun. Maybe Rops can drop one as well, but it would really leave them with a bit of a dicey buy.
Well, I talked about this man earlier on, though. I was talking about him in the context of using the vents. And considering mousesports almost seemed to be out of save after the bomb got planted, with all 5 players left alive, it seems like they were almost going to be committed for that as well. And see able to take the guns out of their hands, make this buy a little bit light. And we are seeing Kerrigan channel his inner snacks from what we saw earlier on with the Max 7. No, it's not the XM. It's still a shotgun nonetheless here, Tom.
Oh, Rops going to have a lot of players in his direction. I don't think you really want anybody else in these sort of scenarios. He's going to be able to get one, but that's not really enough. They need a little bit more in that sort of scenario. You do have to note that mousesports pretty much put him in every single position where it's a one-man job.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, he needs a third one to get the kill. It's not quite going to be there. And it's looking like this round is swinging into the favor of Trick. You have to remember, this is still a fairly CT-sided map. Not as much of a death trap as it was before, but getting a few rounds on the board for Trick could leave them in a decent opportunity. And we've already seen that they can definitely string rounds together on the easier side of maps, so 6-3. Woxic and Chris just going to be saving onto the weapons they have in T-spawn, and don't think there's really any chance for anyone to hunt them down.
Credit where credit's due for Trick. 2 rounds in a row. Dust 2 and chaining rounds together was something they struggled with quite heavily, even though on the T side they were able to eventually take 7. I was actually curious to see Rops commit for that instead of run away. I was expecting him to turn and run instead of stay and face. And he only gets 1 kill off of that. I'm not sure what the decision was in that one. Maybe they didn't have the backup to retreat fully anyways, so he had to stop and fight anyways.
Or it might just be the idea of if he slows them down enough, then maybe his teammates can actually rotate into a position where they're valuable rather than him just sort of giving up the ramp and then they're not in position. Either way, it's kind of hard to tell the decision making from that position. But yeah, 6-3. T's definitely looking like they're right back into the game, and the worries of before are somewhat gone. Woxic yet to have one of those big rounds, but you have to feel like he is a player that at any moment can just take over a round, and this would be one hell of a one to do it. A Zeus even picked up for Kerrigan. That's all he's got invested into this round, and well, definitely some limitations here. It's going to be an outer push. The one time that Woxic isn't ready and waiting, they're going to go running right past his position.
I feel like that's how it always works out too.
Yeah.
It's the one time you don't check this angle, the one time you don't play this position. But Kerrigan, speaking of information, has gotten a hell of a lot of it. Well, oh my gosh, don't even tell me he just got super lucky with that. Okay. Well, no, he's still there. Did you not see him? I don't know what happened.
What is just going wrong there?
Kerrigan's still alive.
Everything seems to have gone wrong in this round. The AWP is dropped into the vents, and for Chris, it's kind of like a lose-lose. Like either he keeps the FAMAS into the next round, which is not going to be ideal, or he just throws away everything he currently has. I think the best case if he manages to steal a gun, and Bubsky just seems to be unbelievable at shutting down these remaining players and making sure that they don't get to keep anything into the next round. He currently sits with 7 kills, and I think at least 3 or 4 of them have been stopping players from saving.
I think even more than that, because he had 3 in the 1 round when they had a bomb plant without killing a single person. I mean, hey, credit to him. I started to call him out, saying I'm wondering where all this vent play is. And it might not necessarily be in the vents, but he's starting to really show up when they need it. Especially with how that scoreline was starting to turn out in favor of Mouse Sports. But the buy's back here for... I was going to say the boys in red, but technically they're in white here in their jerseys. Not a lot of utility left to use. That's unfortunate. Player does sneak down. Of course, it's going to be the man, the myth, the legend. It's going to be Bubsky.
He loves doing that. He loves, like, tapping the doors so that they think he's gone, and then he waits at the vent for somebody to come back down. Unfortunately, Chris has clearly seen that one before and kills him off before anything more can be done. So his position somewhat null and void. Now, it does work as a nice little distraction and forces some rotations away, so Mouse Sports have to be a little bit more careful that they haven't given up more map control than they might expect. However, the T's haven't really gained anything here. They're still sat towards the lobby, having to slowly and methodically clear out a lot of these positions. Now, Mouse Sports in this round, fairly lackluster in their utility, and Rops going to be left in this position again. He wants to find one, and that's where you fade away. Now he falls back all the way this time, because he wanted to at least get himself a pick into a better position, but he's still going to be caught out as they come around the corner. Hunden gets the kill. Carrigan missing his shots, gives them away back into this round. It's going to be left onto the retake, and Shush has just decimated the spray through the smoke from Woxic and leaves Frozen all alone. No kit, no grenades, no chance.
I think this is 4 rounds straight for Tricked, if I'm not mistaken, right? They took the pistol.
Yeah, you are correct. A lot of this, like, I think that round was more just a bit of a whiff from Carrigan. Like, you have to feel that if he gets one of those kills, that this becomes a lot easier of a situation. Frozen at least will be able to get himself an extra kill, and that will be a slight upgrade onto the AK. But even still, 5 rounds now on the T side for Trick. They are looking strong to turn this back into their favor. In fact, you could argue they already have.
The transition here, though, we're talking about with Kerrigan was able to hit maybe a couple more shots as they were dropping down the ramp to get into the site. I think he took shots at about 2 or 3 different players and wasn't really able to connect onto any of it. Unfortunate for his situation. We do have a CZ being used by Christian on outside. Frozen there to support with the AK. They actually have a lot of company coming their direction. Frozen's in a really good position. Chris J pushes around the side, gets caught out. And now Frozen has a flashbang coming in and gets caught up by a core who is completely blinded out. And now they have no chance to rescue the AK, no chance to really fight their way back through. At least I would assume so. Then again, we still have a Deagle in play. That drops right on top of his head. Should rename himself from Shush to Squish.
Going for the Goomba Stomp, but doesn't do as much damage as in Mario.
I feel like it should do damage in CS,
okay.
though. That's a nice little spray down by Woxic.
Gets himself a couple of kills, and hey, Rops with a pistol, not even that much of a detriment. He's been doing fairly decent so far. In fact, top KD in the whole server. I think he will have heard them drop down. Now, this leaves him with a very little chance. And oh, don't go down there with your knife out. Like, the amount of movement speed he gains from walking with a knife out over walking with his pistol out is so slim.
Well, there was, I think, an AWP on the ground, too, in main that he could have taken.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where he probably believes he can win it. I believe he can win it as well, in all honesty, but yeah, no surprise that there's somebody holding within the vent. 6-6. I understood okay. That was about it.
He said Pimp couldn't find a team, okay? He was trying to reaffirm what he said earlier in the interview. I think one of his teammates said didn't you try recruit him? And then
Just
Pundit's like,
leave Jacob alone. He's got you and Matt on his case.
hey, we had some times at the minors back in, was it January? January, yeah.
Yeah,
Time ago.
a while ago.
Oh, into round number 13. All tied up at 6 apiece. Something I didn't think I'd be saying, to be honest, with how Tricked was falling so far behind in the beginning. Down 6-1. Now 5 rounds back to back, and their economy is looking good. A core on 11,000. Now Sports using almost every single buck they have in their bank. And of course, Trish J is gonna have to check towards vents. And you can see he's like, yeah, I'm not down there this time.
Yeah, they're even waiting. They had a player waiting down the bottom of the vents. That is something I've seen teams do before, and it can actually catch him out, like when they start switching things up. Woxic now switches up over towards the ramp, so trying a few different positions out in this round to try and isolate a few of the other players. I think there's a good possibility for him to have more impact over there. We've seen some aggressive push in that direction. Woxic's yet to really do too much within this map, and he's someone who I think Mousesports are really going to need to step up. There we go, though. 50 seconds left. We're going to see that rotation down once more. Seen them do this many a time. Chris is already there and waiting.
Saw Mihu earlier on play from this position. Well, not this exact position.
Actually, where they've just Molotov'd off was closer to it, but here we go. They're going to be running right into his crosshair. First hit, he does drop the bomb, buys a little bit of time, but now the Molotov goes into the vent, and the rotation just not going to be there from the CT side. Nice shot from Woxic, though, but it's very quickly traded out. Rop's desperately trying to drop the bomb, and I believe that's what he's just done. They have to go running in, and look at the quick rotation. They've got back around. A great shot from Acor, though. He'll give them that bomb plant. He'll give them the chance. The nade going to be dunked onto him, at least doing a little bit of extra damage. That'll mean that Rops can hit the instant headshot onto either of these players in the smoke. I believe he heard it hit. That will now give Frozen a little bit of extra space, but he's unable to do anything. Rops has found the kill, and Acor gets dunked again, but he's still just hitting the shots with the AWP. One more needed to close this out. I don't think he knows how close Frozen is, and that will be the youngster to win them around once again. So close for Acor every single time in these clutches, but he can never quite close it out.
How many 1vx's has he had now, and just getting down to 1v1 situations so many times. Yeah, eventually he's going to get one of these. Unfortunately, it wasn't going to be now. 7-6 lead taken back from Mousesports. And Acor, the shot he hit right here. What a shot out of him. He's carrying the team on his shoulders, on his back in that round, but unfortunately the final shot was the one that didn't land. Ended up costing them the round. Woxic going back towards the ramp position. Rop's going to be trading. And Rop's going to at least trade 1 for 1. But then they're going to come in and do some decent damage to the team. XM for Kerrigan, by the way. You can rejoice. You finally seen it today.
Well, they've had some real financial issues. Does Chris really only have a CZ? Like, was that really the best option? They won the round. He should have had at least 3,000 in the bank.
Well, they won with one person. In the rounds before that,
he still gets the win bonus.
Yeah.
He had 1,000 left, so yeah, he must have spent everything. Carrigan going to be up close. This is where you want to see that shotgun play, but I like this from Tricked. Slowing down the round, giving themselves a chance to reposition. Now, there are a couple of low players. Frozen, he may be about to walk into the stack, but if he can get himself a kill here, it could be invaluable to the team. Nice shot from Woxic from above. Frozen's found another. They have to try and double back around and clear him from this position. They know that they can't take this A site with him currently within the hut. Peek out from Frozen. That's another pick for him. The last few rounds, he's been a menace for this Trick side. And there pops up Carrigan, the XM, to finish off the round. He actually didn't pick up the secondary AWP, decided that the SG was more valuable. Maybe they wanted it on Chris, or is it Rops going to steal it away?
I like that play inside of HUD actually had a Frozen, playing so cautiously. He actually went for the push around when they started to all barrel in towards Squeaky Door. Took down the one defender holding towards HUD. And the rest is history as Woxic again has changed up positions. Was outside, was in ramp, now over towards main. Mouz trying to flank him here, which actually should have an opportunity to do so, or might have an opportunity. Oh my god, the jump shot. Just last second catches him off, stops the flank from coming in, keeps Woxic alive. Meantime, Shush trying to push over towards ramp, and they're going to trade 1-for-1. Rotate's coming back in towards help. Kerrigan's there. It seems like everywhere Tricked want to go, Mousesports are there waiting. It's in their own little trap.
Yeah, Bubsky and Mouz left to try bring this back. Oh, missed shot from Woxic. May not matter though, and I don't know what just happened there, but okay, yep, that's round over. 9-6, a bit of a comeback in the end from Mousesports to win the final 3 rounds, but we sort of sit at a bit of a stalemate. I think that's a fairly decent half for Trick to sort of turn things back from the 6-1 scoreline, but it still could have been better. Like they got the streak of rounds in a row, and you feel like they could have continued that. There were a couple of 1v1s and close rounds that could have easily gone back the other way. Now we go into the T-side start for Mousesports, and we see if they can do it on the harder side of Nuke.
Well, we were wondering earlier on if there was maybe some illness going on for Mousesports. Like Kerrigan looked a little bit under the weather. I just saw Woxic rubbing his head, maybe having a slight headache here. And and obviously they've had some ups and downs over the course of today in their 2 best-of-3s. But still at the lead at the end of the first half of Nuke, going over to the harder side with Tees. And I think there's still technically could be a realistic possibility we're going to go to a 3rd map of Mirage. You can't really count the pistol round as like a decider in how the actual half's going to go, considering Tricked have won, I think, what, 3 out of the 4 so far? And have lost the follow-up rounds?
Yeah. Wow, they've got the chance to take all of them here. They managed to get this one. Already, though, Rops is looking to try and change the tune. And at the same time, if Mousesports now take this pistol, they've got the chance to get themselves within 4 rounds of getting into the semi-finals. Rops is just ruining them. He definitely seems to be just slowly building into this, but 2 quick trades come back. Another for Chris and Frozen, and leaves it all on to Roge. He is on the flank, but the bomb's going to be planted. No kit available to him, and he has already killed someone, so they can probably have a rough estimate as where he's going to be. Nice shot onto Woxic at least. Brings it back into a possibility. He peeks through this door. There's a chance for a 1v1, but just about escapes around the corner. Chris J knows that this is not a battle he needs to be taking. He can just leave it up to Frozen, the youngster, to close things out once again. 10-6, and finally we actually get a pistol round on the board for Mousesports.
17-11 for Rops over the course of this first half +1 round. Max 7 from my man Bubs.
Is that what his friends call him? Or just weirdos who watch him?
Are you calling me a weirdo?
No, just, well, if the shoe fits.
Isn't it like Macho Man, or the Macho Man Randy Savage used to call people Bub?
Okay. I didn't realize it went that deep. I thought you just couldn't be bothered to say the full name.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. All right? It's late here. Kerrigan gets the first kill. Chris J not able to drop a core, though. Just trades left and right, to be honest. 3-on-2 with Hunden and Shush still left alive. Frozen comes back in, and he's going to fall. And now Hunden a 1-on-2 and almost a 1-on-1. And we almost saw just consistent back and forth from pistol rounds into the follow-ups.
Woxic just couldn't hit him while he was in that corner. He sprayed 2 full clips around that direction, just trying to pre-fire, and kept running out of bullets. Maybe needs to upgrade to the PP Bison.
Sorry, was it a Hulk Hogan that said Bub? I don't remember now. Or was it Duke Nukem? It's like one of the 3. It's one of the 3.
At least 2 of them are somewhat related.
I think it's Duke Nukem, actually.
The third one.
the one that's not related.
Completely unrelated.
I don't know. Someone tweets me, Jay Kaplan. Make sure to follow. Thanks. 11-6. A little bit of a nade stack towards... Yeah, I'm not above selling out. Selling out with a grenade push on towards the outside, but it looks like Mousesports actually have instead gone towards ramp. It's kind of one of the 2 results you get from a nade stack. Either they're there or not there. It's like Schrodinger's grenade.
Okay.
I'm losing it. Help me.
Yeah.
A
felt like that would have been a little bit different if there was a grenade in the box with the cat. I don't think people would be questioning it as much. Like, maybe it's alive. No, I can see the box is gone.
12-6 Mouse Sports starting to get on a streak. Like I said before, 4 rounds away now from closing out this match and from getting themselves through into the semifinals where they can, well, at least one of them can defend the title on stage. So against Virtus Pro in the finals last year, I'm not mistaken. Good old Papa Pasha. Papa Pasha, wow. Help me out, Tom. Please, take us away.
Right back into things. P-side. A lot of utility. The AWP going to be back onto Acorn. They're going to go for the faster play in towards Secret because, well, they want to get up close. That's where those SMGs are going to be valuable to them. The B site allows for a lot more angles that are beneficial to them. And they want to try and negate a lot of the CT players early on. However, 2 already rotated in. Shush and Roge going to be ready and waiting for this play. However, the T's are not dedicated to this just yet. 1 minute 15 on the clock. Looking to see if they can spot anyone here. Rops being a little bit slimy in the corner and just about gets away with that one.
Oh, that's like the worst time to be reloading coming around a corner. Well, luckily he gets the kill, but unluckily it looks like they might lose the war in this round. As Hunden's just left to himself up against forward. Imagine saving the weapon.
Do you believe? Does Pimp
That he's going to
believe?
save the weapon? Yeah, I do believe he's going to do that.
No, do you believe he's going to win the clutch?
No. Because he's going to run.
It's a bold prediction.
Hey,
Ooh, hello.
Making it expensive for Mouse Sports, if anything.
But yeah, the thing is, though, it's making it expensive, sort of, because a lot of what they're losing is actually just what they've picked up from the Trick side, because they still had SMGs into this round. So 13-6, a big boost to the economy of Mouse Sports, a round that was almost played as a bonus. And now you look on the other side of things, and Trick can't really go for this. But by the looks of it, they're going to completely force around the AWP. I guess that's just based on being so far down. Like, if you're sort of betting on this match, if you let it go to 14-6, you would bet that Mouse Sports would be able to cheese 2 rounds, just based on the pure individual skill that they have. Like, you would bet that they'd be able to close this game just off something crazy, even if everything was going wrong. So you can understand why they want to give themselves at least an extra opportunity. Bubsky is going to go for the XM on the classic hut position as well, so pretty much playing exactly as you should with that weapon. Even still, though, there's many more pieces missing from this Trick puzzle.
Not really sure how Hunden's actually going to escape this position. He's just going to back in towards Secret. Core's going to be there. Nice little play out of him. Again, not giving up outside for free. Hunden, I like this spot. Gets the first. He's going to get more of this. The flashbangs come in yet again, and look at that. Nice little teamwork between Hunden and Core to net themselves a 3-man advantage here in this round. Rops alone against 4 with the XM pointed in his head's direction.
I feel like you need the Jaws music for this moment.
Which one's that?
Dun it.
That's it?
Yeah, he walked away. It was just a small burst.
Nobody's going back. Oh. But either way, Tricked, as we were saying before, forcing up around the AWP in the last round. Actually, as I say, Rops, I think he has the... No, the bomb's down actually over towards Secret. So either way, Trick take the round. The force up works out. And Mouse Sports are still enough money to force either way. Christian at 9.5K. Frozen at 7.2. Quick little timeout coming in for them as well, considering they are 3 rounds away from getting through the semifinals. No need to rush anything just yet.
Yeah, I think they're also just going to be discussing what they'll do in this round. Like, do they want to play it slowly again? If so, maybe purchase up an AWP for Woxic, who is currently out of cash, or if they are going to be going for a faster round, then you don't really need to invest that extra money into the AWP. So just giving themselves a moment to decide what they're going to do. They're actually going to hand him over an AK, which makes me expect this to be a faster play, maybe a push towards the ramp, something they haven't really contested that much so far. And we saw that Rops in the previous round was able to sneak all the way through there without anybody really noticing. Either that, or maybe they do want to go for some sort of out of play, but more heavily invested into the smokes rather than anything else. And at least for now, we are going to see them looking for that out of play. This is the sort of position I'd actually rather have Woxic having an AWP, but maybe it's just based off finances. They did have a little bit of extra cash. I think that Chris J probably could have bought him one, in all reality. Because it would have been spending a lot of their finances.
Oh, a little tag comes up. Core dropped to about 42 HP. Mouse just kind of holding their time. You obviously saw the discussing with Woxic what to potentially do here. Limited utility. Trick seemed to have to be able to hold the Sakura with 2 flashbangs and Incendiary. 45 seconds and to come down to do or die time here momentarily. Looks like it's a push in towards ramp. I'm sure she's going to be waiting. I think with hearing them coming, she's going to back off, play safe, try to buy some time. Rotations coming in through Ven as well. Bub's already able to take Kerrigan out of the fight. Hunden as well into Frozen, and Osprey's quickly turned tail. Still have another player to worry about, which is going to be Hunden here on your screen. 20 seconds left. They have to make something happen, and I think that might be it. Chris J opens things up onto the lower site. Meantime, everyone's pushing in towards upper. Hunden's going to get caught off guard. There's going to be Bubs still tucked away in the site. He's not able to get the kill on the Rups. 8 seconds left to go. Bomb in the hand of Chris J. He's got to go for the plant right away. Looks like he might be able to get off in time, but can he deal with the core? And he does get the shot. Now can he get the second as well? And Roge survives with 13 HP. It's only killed a round, but a crucial one it is. And Trick going to be up to 8.
I think they know just how close that clutch was from Chris, and could have been what put them over the line instead. We are going to be seeing that defusal eventually coming in. Maybe looking to see if they can retrieve the AWP, but it isn't going to fall down, unfortunately. So even with the round being won, it's going to be a very costly one for Trick. And now, again, there's going to be a pause called, this time by the counter-terrorists, but you have to wonder if this is going to be a worthwhile one for the T's as well, because they know how much damage has been done. Carrigan's going to purchase up a pistol and some utility. They do now have a reasonable amount of loss bonus, 2,400 coming in the next round, so I wonder if we might even see Frozen or Chris just purchase up an SG or an AK or something just in an attempt to do some damage across this round. Okay, I didn't expect it, Galil.
Expect the unexpected, Tom.
Yeah. So far, that tweet from Rops has meant nothing by the looks of it. I guess everybody was expecting after he tweeted that something would happen. So the unexpected thing was it was nothing.
400 IQ player.
He
right there.
brained us all. What was that long?
I don't know. I'm tired. It's been a long day. It sounded like a chipmunk. Anyways, Court. Able to hit a shot. We did see Rops get down towards lower. Just move on, Tom. It's okay. It happens. And Mousesports have been able to get through towards Secret. Shush again, just trying to back off. Rops gets a kill into a core. That's over towards Vents. He's trying to push out for another one and almost picks up the op and gets the shot onto Roge, but he still will fall. The backup's there. Nice little second kill out of him. Down to a 3-on-3. And quickly down to a 3-on-2. Woxic, he knows there's an op over here. I would love to be able to pick up a weapon. And they have time to do so. A minute left to go.
Yeah, the thing is, this round already is fairly successful. Not going to be the kill coming in for Woxic, but they achieved what they kind of needed to there. Keep the economy of Tricked honest. Force a few rebuys to come in. I think they even had to rebuy the AWP, so Actually, no way they didn't. I think somebody must have saved that. Haven't spent enough money for that to be the case. And then on the other side, I think mousesports can now get a buy-in. If they win this round, set Trick's economy right back again. So the only real problem for them is they have a serious lack of utility. So I wonder if this is going to be a faster play towards the upper bomb site. So utility being expended, spam through, does a fair bit of damage. Bubsky gets quite a lot in return. Not really going for this, and that's the thing. They can't really do too much in these sort of slow around positions because they have a singular smoke. They can't take outside unless they are just going to try and out-aim their opposition. It almost has to be forcing the issue into this site, and that's exactly what they're going to be doing already. Quick trades back. It's the CT side that come out on top for now. A nice shot from Acor as well, coming around the flank, but can't quite finish off the last man in the form of Frozen, who is now getting tagged beyond belief. 2 HP is all that's left. I'm hoping this round is pretty much gone.
Yeah, there it is. 2 for Hunden. 13-10, and Hunden currently on 19 kills. 24 cores. Actually, Hunden on second kills for his team. On the other side, 23 for Ops. Everyone else around that 15-16 mark. And they weren't able to reset the economy as hard as they'd hoped to, like you mentioned, Tom, but they've still been able to do some damage. But these last few rounds are really proven to be tough and really difficult for mousesports to close out the actual map. The way Tricked are playing, we could be seeing that third and final map of Mirage today. And Kerrigan, I think he's been able to sneak his way through.
I'm getting somewhat deja vu, though, based off what we saw in the previous map, like a long comeback. And then mousesports just kicked it up a gear. And that's the thing. It's whether they have that extra gear on this map on the T side. It's a little bit tougher than doing it on Dust 2. But they do still seem to have this extra gear. I love that he almost gets that kill with the Glock. It will be Roche to close it out. 13-11. The difference down to just 2. We are going to get the purchase back, and again, they could get an AWP onto Woxic, but it doesn't seem to be part of their plans at the moment. Either that or Chris could purchase one of his own, but they are just going to be sticking with the SGs. Understandable. There hasn't been that much of a challenge out from Acor. I think it's mainly been his positional play that's been so effective with his AWP. Currently on 21 kills. The only man above him is Rops.
Well, mousesports going back to that slower style. Of course, not going to have any challenging out towards, well, the outside position. Crochet going to push through Hut. Actually, nice little execute comes in with the flashbangs. Kerrigan getting 2 assists there. Hunden trying to hold steady, but unfortunately, there's just too many players they have to deal with. And Kerrigan's in a perfect position to just punish them on the retreat. And mousesports get themselves one step closer to that coveted 16 they need.
And this is going to be exactly what I'm talking about. Like, this will be every single penny spent by Tricked. And that was all just because of those couple of kills, like the Galil that was purchased in that round. Like, all of those kills have added up for mousesports, whereas if they win this round, it's done. Like, that is it. That is the economy of Tricked completely down the gutter. They'll have $1,900 to wipe their tears away. However, if they win this round, it's a completely different story, and the attempted run through squeaky door on the A site has failed miserably. Rops has also been tagged down to just 26 HP. This is not the start the mousesports were looking for. They themselves have a little bit of extra cash, but they're just getting ruined at the moment, one by one, taking jewels and losing them at that. Smoke should at least allow Chris to retrieve the bomb, but in all honesty, this round is looking over.
I'm sure you're doing a great job of keeping everyone alive, too. Of course. Of course. Keeping a majority of the people alive, let's just say that, considering their economy right now. This is definitely a round victory that they need. That's a condition they needed to win with that many people left alive. so their economy would not be hurting. They're able to reforce back up for all the players. Mouse Sports, on the other hand, they still have 7K on 2 players. Chris J, the one weakest at the moment. Tricked are just getting... I don't know, it's been like a slow grind for them. Yeah, they've had, you know, a couple of streaks here or there, but they've been fighting tooth and nail for a majority of these rounds. I feel like not a lot of them have been super clean. We have a little timeout for Mouse Sports just to discuss some things.
Can you try to think you go down vents? I'll move support the late problem after the mass move, okay?
Okay, well, you heard it there. Looks like Kerrigan's looking to fake out vents. I feel kind of bad for the teams that do speak English as their main form of communication, because I feel like other teams can just, even if you're not playing and you're just like watching, you can like hear their strategies and understand them. I guess you could argue just have anyone translate for you, but
yeah, exactly. If anybody really wanted to look into the strategies and the comms of another team, they could, but that's the thing. I don't think necessarily teams will have that many different strategies, at least at the top. And yeah. It's more when they are utilized, these mid-round calls as well. Frozen is going to manage to cross, but the gap in the smoke means that it can't really be sold as like that much of a fake. Like they're going to know that only one player has crossed down. They would have seen that fact. The Rops is going to be able to get the opener. Hunden goes down. Nice shot from Shush. Will keep things even for now as he's going to be able to fall back. Rops trying to utilize that space, but instead it's Carrigan caught out. Bubsky with a big kill and no trade yet available. In fact, he's going to peek back into Rops and get rid of him as well. Such a big round coming out from Bubsky, but can Frozen turn things back? He's going to catch one. The second there, but he's not getting that kill, and it's left all onto Woxic. Flicking from side to side, looking to try and find some sort of opener back into the round. He does have control of the bomb, so could opt to just try and get them that extra money, which they desperately need. However, doesn't seem to be within his nature. He's playing for the win. He wants to try and take this round away from Tricked. Get them to 15 in style. The problem is, he doesn't really have the time for this. 30 seconds left, and he looks to wrap around towards the B site, and Shush is ready.
I feel like this should almost be just a save. 1 on 3, 13 seconds left. All right, well, he's going to gamble it, try to go for the rush in towards lower, go for the smoke and the plant. Oh. You hate to see it. So close, but that's going to be Tricked now. 1 round away. 9-6 end of the first half in favor of Mouse Sports on the T side. Or sorry, CT side. And now Tricked to be able to close the gap down to 1. And with Mouse Sports not really having much money to spend, looks like we might be at 14 apiece.
Yeah, Hero AK going to be picked up by Carrigan. I imagine he'll be just playing a more aggressive style, and they're going to go running straight in towards this A site. Molotov goes down, and wow, this is just an absolute bloodbath of Mouse Sports players. They've been caught within the mousetrap and Tricked. Even things up. 14-14. Purchase will now be available for the Mouse Sports side. The AWP coming in. It has been a streak of 3 rounds, but more importantly, 8 of the last 9 have gone the way of Tricked.
Well, even if Mouse Sports can win this round, they're still going to be up against the fully bought up Tricked into the final round of normal time, of regulation time. Rops, unfortunately, is going to be the first to fall by a core who, again, he's had his kind of moments to shine, but he's been quiet for the most part. And look at this, Tricked. Massive man advantage now, all on Frozen with 1 minute and 25 seconds left to go. I think Mirage is on its way here, Tom.
Yeah, Frozen left into a 1 versus 5. Even just cost at this point isn't going to be any valuable to them at all. It's only if he can try and win this. Does at least manage to get himself a first pick. Still a fair bit of time. Does have control of the bomb. Knows that there's going to be a player around this angle at least, but he doesn't know about Roge up above. A 15th round onto the board for Trick. They're one away from taking this series all the way. And while the final pause is going to be called from mouz Sports, they're given a second to talk this one over. Fantastic CT side strung together by the Danes. And, well, they're now giving a single Dane on the other side a chance to talk things over and come up with a new strategy.
But they have 2 SGs, 2 MAC-10s, and AK. On the other side, an SG, 2 M4s, an AK, and an AWP. 24 kills for Core, 24 for Hunden, 26 for Rops. And no one else on the side of mouz Sports pushing past that 20-point mark. Kerrigan the closest at 19, as you can see on your screens. But we're getting underway now. It's going to be the final round of regulation. Can mouz Sports take us to overtime, or will Trick take us to Mirage? Eventually, we'll be going somewhere. And Frozen just immediately rushing straight past them. Hunden's going to be here and has opportunity to really put a stop, a spanner in their works, and that's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Though eventually, Roge is able to take down Frozen. So 3-on-4, man advantage back to Tricked.
And it's slipping away. This is looking like Mirage is on the cars. Woxic left alone in a 1 versus 4 to try and save this for the mouz Sports side. Tricked have shown resilience to drag this one back. And mouz Sports, well, they've let it slip away. A hefty lead in their favor. The pistol even going for them in the second half. And well, now Woxic, the only one that stands in the way of Mirage. Gonna try and get this bomb down. It's almost an impossible scenario for him to try and turn this around, and even taking a little bit of extra time to get that bomb down. They're going to be riding onto him. Tricked. They take this to a 3rd and final map. They are looking to try and get themselves into the semifinals, and Mirage is coming up next.
Very long, grindy match for both teams, but Trick definitely had the harder trick to pull, and that one being down 9-6. Coming together on the CT side, 4 members passing 20 kills on their side. And they have to be happy with that, but that's got to take a lot of energy out of them to grind that one out for such a long period. And now Mirage is the 3rd and final map. You know how they're feeling?
Yeah.
I think they've only played 2 best-of-3s today.
Yeah.
I think we haven't played. We just get to sit back, relax, and cast. But Mirage, final map now. Final match of map of the day. I'm curious how it's going to go. Let's break down the last map on the desk.
Thank you, Jason. Yes, if you thought this series was going 2-0, you've just been tricked, because the end of the night is just a distant mirage. Jacob, it's your fault.
My thoughts?
I said it was your fault. I'll take your thoughts too, I guess.
Sure. So here they go. Hunden had a great game.
Oh, look at you sucking up.
Not a great game.
Nice save.
I think
I'll go tell him you said that.
This is exactly what Trick is able to do when every player is chiming in. I think Trick played a well game right here. They played, good. They were all chiming in at certain moments. Shus had a great game once again. Hunden were top fracking for the squad. We don't really normally see that, let's be honest. So when he's also a fracking capacity of the Trick lineup, I think that you have a roster that is able to compete with some of the best teams in the world, which we saw right here. There's no doubt that Nuke is a map that favors Trick. It is the special map. It's the best map in the map pool. Whereas for mouz Sports, as we also said before the game coming in, that it is a little bit, it's a map they play. It's a map that's part of the map pool, but it's not one of the strongest maps. So you'd urge, and you'd lean towards Trick in terms of the map pool. But being able to beat mouz Sports 16-14, especially in the fashion they did, very impressive.
And the fashion they did was impressive, but narrow as well. You go to a pistol, Kerrigan nearly clutches one back, couldn't get the defuse, didn't have time ultimately. A couple other rounds that could have gone either way. Certainly they started out on the CT side. You would have thought the momentum was going to go with them, but Trick did very good on their T side.
Yeah, we basically saw the same story on both halves, right? mouz Sports, after a hot start, it looked like they were in control of the game, and then Trick, on the other hand, adapted and started putting up rounds of their own. Especially on the first half, right? They had those B takes, which were very successful, either through yard or wrapping through the vents. And in the end, it seemed like mouz Sports had no answer for that. But they managed to adapt as well in the end, got a few rounds on the board. But on the other half, that time they could not adapt, right?
Yeah.
Every time they got into the site, they were met by a multi-kill by either Bubski or Shush. These guys just shut them down every single time.
And it's the same players that we talked about this morning for Trick.
Yes.
These guys played the first best of 3 today, which was hours upon hours upon hours ago. Mirage is next. Gentlemen, we switch things over. Bit more of an open map than Nuke.
Yeah, I think
in some ways. Outside of Nuke's actually not too bad these days, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I think it's going to be super rough for Trick, let's be honest. I think we saw them earlier this day play on Mirage against Virtus Pro, and I think were they down 13-5 at a certain point, right? Virtus Pro should have closed that one out. It should have been potentially a 16-5 blowout, and by then you'd stand here and say, why on earth have they allowed Mirage to go through? They made a decent comeback against Virtus Pro, ended up winning 16-14, so they know how to play Mirage, but against Mousesports, that's going to be a complete different capacity. You have a guy like Kerrigan who's very influential on this map. He's always, on the move, always rotating around. Chris J is a solid player on Mirage as well.
Yes.
Voxic is going to have a much bigger impact on Mirage as well. He was completely absent from this new game. We didn't see his orbing capacity either. So there's so much stuff, that Mousesports can do on Mirage. There's so many players and so many strings they can play off that I think it's simply going to be too much for Trick. I think it's going to be a relatively competitive game, but I would be highly surprised if Mousesports does not win this one 16-10, 16-11, some sort of that.
Yeah, actually, I'm going with Trick for this one because Mouse
Oh, wow, all right.
Yeah, I believe in the Danes. I'm a believer now.
Stupid, don't do that.
All right, I'll take it from you. Yeah, so Mouse Sports in the past few Mirage games, actually the major, it didn't go that well for them.
Sure.
And at the same time, we saw some very good stuff from Trick today. So I do feel like it is in the Danes to take this.
All right, well, we'll see if they can. Because the V4 Future Sports Festival from Budapest means that we are hungry for one more map. It is Mirage. We're going to take a break. We've got to compose ourselves. We've got to let Tom, Biz, and Kaplan go to the bathroom at least once today. It's been a 12-hour day for them, so they'll be back in a minute. So will we. It's the final map of the day, and the winner of this plays on Saturday in the semifinal. What a break they would get in a lovely city. Time to relax and practice and prepare. We'll see you then. Analyst Stop Talk.